Do birds suddenly appear every time you are near? Just like me, they long to be close to you.
Hey everybody, this is Dr. Willie Jolley.
And this is Dee.
The beautiful, brilliant, and glamorous Dee. She's always beautiful, brilliant, and glamorous. We're the authors of the book Make Love, Make It Last, 10 Secrets to Shape a Great Marriage. We've been married for going on 39 years in 2 weeks, 3 weeks. 3 weeks.
28th.
The 28th will be 39 years, yeah, almost 3 weeks. And haven't had an argument in 37 years. And we are grateful that we are able to share with people how we do it in our TED Talk. So many people have joined the TED Talk and I'm watching it. And if you're listening to Radio 1 stations, I'm promoting the tips from the book this week and next week on the 10 secrets to our success in marriage that we didn't just come up with. We got them from wise mentors as well as wise teachers. Gladys Pemberton is here.
Hi there.
Ron is listening and watching tonight. Welcome, Ron. We're glad you're here. Thank you for being here. They have mentioned Ron and Gladys Pemberton are featured in the book. We got stories about people who have been successfully married, and we have them as called like our Hall of Fame in the beginning of the book. And Ron and Gladys Pemberton, let's see, they are in here. They had, at that point when we wrote the book, over 35 years. They're way over 40 years now. And when we were dating, we went to visit them at their home. And
to get their stamp of approval, huh?
I think that was true. I was working on it. All right. So welcome, everybody, wherever you are. And all those who join us every week from YouTube, who watch on the replays. We get so many people say, I watch it on the replays every week. What? I'm still shocked. We were at church on Sunday, and a lady said a beautiful lady and her daughter, she said, she had been married 35 years before her husband passed. Mm-hmm. And she said, I checked you out to see if you really
She's
knew.
A deaconess at our church.
Yeah, she said to see if you knew what you was talking about, because everybody was talking about y'all.
Funny.
Everybody was talking about this show. So I tuned in to see if y'all really knew what you're talking about. And she said, thumbs up. Y'all were wonderful. It was fantastic. So she's
a lovely lady. That was so nice of her to say that.
That was very nice.
Humbling. Too.
Yeah. So, okay, let's get into this week's program and point.
So it's a continuation. It's a part 2 of the Great Divorce.
Okay, what is the Great Divorce?
So research says that the fastest growing segment of the marriage population of those who are 65 and older, who've been married for 30 years, who are saying, "This is it, I'm out."
Wow. Over 65, been married over 30 years. Mm-hmm. And that's the highest rate. Now, why is it? Why is this great divorce? Last week we talked about empty nest syndrome. That's one of the big reasons, and the fact that people didn't have a date night.
Well, I think that's kind of like when you say and add on. They didn't say they didn't have a date night. It was the lack of communication. A lack of communication because they were focused on raising the children and other things, and not focused on themselves and developing a relationship. And one way you maintain and continue to develop the relationship is by having a date night.
Right.
Time when you are together and focus on each other. Encourage and nurture and support each other.
So we talked about empty nest syndrome. What I want to say to everybody is this, and this is not just for people who are great and have a great divorce possibility, or those who are challenged, but for newly married, it's important to understand when you have a child, they suck up all your time if you allow it. They will take control over your life, all of your life, if you allow it. But what we did, we got wise counsel from wise mentors who said, put your children to bed at a reasonable time and take some time and once in a week for yourselves. Now, we didn't have no money. We didn't have no money there. We had 2 children. One was a preteen, one was a teeny weeny, and they were 10 years apart. And so we told her 9 o'clock was our date night on Thursday nights. And so we put William, little teeny weeny, we put him down like 8:30. And we told the preteen, who was by that time maybe 11 or 12, because William was a little teeny weeny. He was 1 or 2 or 3. And said, we're going to have a date. Now we're going to have a date here in the house, watching our favorite television show, LA Law and Hill Street Blues, on Thursday night. Now, we're going to keep the door open while we watch this. We're going to get some Jiffy Pop popcorn. We didn't have enough money to go out and get food. We had Jiffy Pop popcorn. For those who don't know, that was about 99.
Eating at home can really save you a lot of money.
Oh, you getting ready to go? Or you getting ready to go down it? I see it coming. I see it coming because everybody knows if you watch her, she'll find a way to take every conversation and talk about money, about finances. We're talking about the weather and how that impacts money. All right, so we got Jiffy Pop popcorn, 99 cents. That's all we could afford. Open the door. She could go by and go to the bathroom or go get a glass of water or whatever, but this was our time, and she was not.
And we've maintained that to this day.
To this day, we still have Thursday night. Now, we got no children in the house now, but still, it's intentional. That's the lesson.
Yes.
It's intentional. That is not by chance, happenstance.
Even though we're in the house, I think that's important because we work from home. So even though we're in the house together, down in the office, and then not in the office, but we have date night and we're focused on each other.
That's right.
So last Thursday night, we actually went to the theater.
That's right.
Yeah.
We
saw Step
Africa.
Amazing.
It was fantastic. If you're in the Washington area, go to see Step Africa's program at Arena Stage. It was fantastic. I think it's still through July.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Fantastic.
A summary of Jacob Lawrence's works.
Yes. And in dance, the Great Migration from the South to the North. It was fantastic. Anyway, so we are intentional, even to this day, about our date night. And
about time together.
Because early on, if we hadn't done it, the kids would have taken all of our energy, all of our time, and all of our focus. And we would have not had time to focus on each other and build our relationship and continue to build our relationship. Talking, communicating. So we know marriages break up for 1 of 3 reasons: sex, money, communication. Of the 3, the biggest is communication, because if you communicate better, you have better love life. If you communicate better, you have better money life. And if you communicate better, you have a better life together.
All right, so let's focus in on one specific area, the area of money as relates to couples and their grown children. Because that's really what
this tonight's show is about.
Okay.
Couple, we've had a number.
That's kind of interesting.
Several couples who said, we got a problem.
Well,
how do we handle?
Called you.
Yeah. We had conversations, but we've also had communications, other the email and others, about this problem. You got adult children who are not self-sufficient.
So you want to tell the backstory with that? You want to be a little more specific?
Well,
about the situation?
I think this is sufficient enough that you got an adult child who is grown. I mean, older adult, and cannot pay their own bills. Older than 50. Okay.
Okay.
It could be older than 40, okay?
Well, in this case.
All right, older than 40. They're 40, 50. They're grown, okay? They're really grown. They're not like in their 20s or 30s where they're still trying to figure it out. They're grown. Over 40, you should know how to be self-sufficient. And they can't pay the bills. And the child or person who is the son, I'll just call it what it is, a son, got evicted. Okay.
That's what I was saying. Give a
little context.
Give the context of the situation.
Why don't you give the context you want to give? Because I don't want to halfway give it. You keep saying, give more context. Tell the context, and then I can add.
This is a sad story because the couple has been married for what, over 40, 50 years?
At least 40.
And
Probably 45.
grown child, it's a blended family, got evicted and is currently living in his car.
So,
And the question becomes, should the parents provide housing for him? He's never really had a steady job.
we can't keep a job.
Or can't keep a job.
And so, and if he does have money, he doesn't manage it well. But whatever the case, he's evicted, and one parent says, "I want to take money out of our retirement."
So the specific conflict is that one parent, the mother, wants to take $100,000 out of her 401k and buy a cheap condo. They've already started down the path. They did not. They lost the bid on one, and now they're searching for another. And the husband is not feeling it.
He's not feeling it.
And he is saying,
"This is money we have worked. We've worked all our lives to."
That this is destroying, and I can't believe it.
Well, pushing. It's challenging. No,
it's
not destroying.
Pushing a marriage.
It's just challenging. And so what we want to talk about is, how do you handle this? So we always keep everything anonymous so that people won't, we're not putting their business, but it's a great object lesson, because that's not the first one we had. This was just one that had specific points that we could tie in.
And then we know them.
Yeah.
But then with church yesterday.
Right, there you go. We got church people.
Who asked me about, what are you talking about on Monday night? I said, we're talking about still talking about the great divorce and the challenges there, but from the angle of what kind of support do you continue to give for your adult children who are supposed to be independent, and that it is causing a conflict in the marriage.
That's the second one.
And her response was, well, I'm dealing with a brother who is 60 years old, and we just put him in rehab, and we family, the other 4 brothers and sisters, have supported him for years, and he's 60 years old, and I'm done. So we put him in, and I'm not giving him another dollar. So they put him in rehab last week. So the whole idea of financially dependent children, how much do you do? When does it stop?
Okay.
Or does it?
So let's
stop?
talk. Well, that's.
And how do you handle it? Okay.
So first things first, must be able to communicate. Now, one partner feels a burden to help this child. The other partner has more tough love. Okay?
So I think they need to go to counseling.
That might be true, but even with counseling, let's say that's a good point. Okay, that's a good point. But right now, what we recommend? Here's what I recommend: be honest with each other about the financial situation. Okay.
Well, they discuss their financial situation openly.
Yeah, but I'm saying be honest with each other if they aren't. So, but they have a combined. But retirement.
They have resources in excess of.
Well, that's not. I don't want to say that. They got enough money to do this, buy this condo, but it's their money, not his money and her money. It's their money, their nest egg, their money for their retirement.
But she's saying, I will take $100,000 specifically out of her 401k. And I understand the concept of your money is my money and my money is your money.
Correct.
But she's saying, I want to specifically tap my 401k and give my son a roof over his head.
Okay. And my recommendation, let me tell you what my recommendation was to him. Do it. Just do it.
And why?
Because one, you can afford to do it. And see this as an investment, as a piece of property. You're not giving it to them for an apartment. you're giving it for a condo, and that condo will appreciate over time. So it's an investment. And she's comfortable because he has a roof over his head. The son. She is more comfortable rather than him being in a car or who knows where. That's first. Second, do set some standard for this son who has not been good at managing money or keeping a job.
Well, you can say set some standards, but what if he doesn't achieve? He hasn't done it all these years.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. This is true.
So you got, okay, so we always talk about communicating. Communicate openly and honestly, which is hard. It is hard because this is an emotional thing. You're talking about his hard-earned money. He's never really had, you know, sometimes people might use that term, he's never been really responsible. And old Southern times, they would say, well, he was like a good for nothing.
Yeah.
Now, why you put me in a position I've worked all these years and I've scraped and saved and didn't do stuff, and now it's our time, and you want to take some of the money, whatever it is. I don't want to do that and give it to him.
Right.
But you're saying, okay, let's go ahead and do it.
I said for the sake of the relationship.
Okay.
Boom. For the sake of the relationship. And Terrence just said, the man should let her lead. The man should let his wife lead in this case. His opinion. Now, I just told him.
It's totally emotional.
It's emotional. And I said, she's not going to change.
Right.
She's not going to change. She loves his boy. She has always supported him.
But that's his mom.
This is his mama. And, you know, I have more of maybe a tough love perspective. And tough love does work sometimes. But you got to be able to hold the line. Case in point. My grandson came to live with us a year and a half ago, 2 years ago. And he lasted 5 days because he was disrespectful. I told him he had to go. If he's not going to follow my rules in my house, then you know he can't stay here and just live here and do nothing. And so I said, you got to go. And so he went back. And after a few months of him being upset with us, he called and said, you were right. You know, you can't disrespect. He had gotten a place, and his half brother came to live with him, or cousin or somebody, and was disrespectful. And he said, I learned that day that how important it is for somebody to respect a man in his own house. Mm-hmm. And then he said, I apologize. And he apologized. We got good. We're good. He's been here. We've worked with him. We're helping him. We talk every week now. Every Monday night after this show for the last 2 years, every Monday night. He calls us Monday night because he worked night manager at Planet Fitness. And when he got to work, he called us every Monday night as soon as this show was on. And we chat. Our relationship is good because sometimes you need some tough love. And so I'm saying.
He's also in his early 20s.
Yeah, he's in his, but the tough love had an impact. That's all I'm saying.
Yes.
And so in this situation, with this young man, there has to be some boundaries. It can't be a open checkbook, you know, just I'll get you to place.
Okay, so you set some boundaries. So open communication. This is how I'm feeling. I'm frustrated about this. You've consistently not done. The mama doesn't want you out on the street. This is what we're going to do, and we're going to set some boundaries. Now,
oh yeah,
can I assume?
Greg Kazera said something else that I discussed. The condo is in the parents' name. It's actually in their trust.
It will be in their trust.
In their trust. It is theirs, not his.
Absolutely.
Amen. Yeah, absolutely, Greg. Well, that was a given.
That's a good point.
And his responsibility to pay the condo fee, which might be a couple $100 a month. That was his responsibility. To pay the condo fee. And if he didn't, he didn't get water or electricity. They cut that off. And he wanted to live in a house with no water or electricity, but at least they got a roof over it.
Okay.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. I don't know how that's going. I agree.
We all agree on that. Mm-hmm. There has to be some boundaries.
But if you never consistently held a job, no money coming in,
or you had some sort of, and there might be some mental health issues here, okay? And there also might be some substance abuse issues here. We don't know all that.
If there is ongoing counseling.
Right, but they have to be.
That might be hard.
But then again, maybe the parameter is we'll put you in this place. You must go to counseling.
That could be
You must get mental health. You must take your meds. There has to be some boundaries.
So that's part of the boundaries.
Is that part of what you said?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, good. See, I said that without even knowing her notes. Y'all know she always got notes. Okay, go ahead.
So that could be one of the boundaries.
I like your first point. You didn't read your first point, which is very powerful.
What?
Communicate, or you didn't say with kindness.
I didn't say that.
No, communicate openly with kindness.
And that can be very hard
for both mates.
When you are an annoyed, hardworking person and you feel like you're being put upon.
But you got to do it with kindness. I think that word is powerful.
Thank you.
That we as partners, we're not always going to agree, but there has to be a decision that we will always be kind to each other. We'll be kind. And when you're not kind,
be silent.
No. When one mate is not kind to the other, the person who feels offended must use the 4 F's. We had that conversation with somebody recently.
Yes, we did.
All right. When somebody was not kind to their spouse or spoke in a way that didn't feel kind, the person was offended.
Yes.
We talked to them.
Well, yes.
We're good mentors. We talked to a lot of people. Son, let's see.
Be friendly, be frank.
Let's see.
Fair,
Gladys said Ron said he missed the class on financial planning for the future. This situation should have been addressed many years ago. Well, look here. Yeah. But you're right. But here we are. So how do we do this? It's still able to.
And you know what? They might have, knowing them and how well organized they are, they might have had it, but it didn't take.
Yeah.
And then they did not keep.
Or they couldn't reinforce it, maybe.
They couldn't reinforce it.
And look, and education is repetition. Repetition is the mother of learning. So it's not tell them once and they get it, or tell them twice and they get it. It's over and over and over. You taught them, say thank you, say please, over and over until they got it, till it kicked in. So now is the time to do some, I think about Joe Dudley, the great Joe Dudley, who passed away recently. Joe Dudley said that he had a mama who said, I know you're not that smart in school. You're kind of slow, Joe. She said, but.
For her to say that is just.
But she said it with love. He said, my mama was the key. He said, she encouraged me when I was in the 11th grade to go back to the first grade and take the first grade book. And she read it with me till I got my foundation, my fundamentals. Once I got first grade, we went to the second grade book until I could build up on those fundamentals. 3rd grade, 4th grade, 5th grade, 6th grade, 7th grade, 8th grade, 9th grade, till I was able to catch up while she worked with me. So maybe it's going back. Let's talk about the fundamentals. Here are the fundamentals of financial literacy. But one day we ain't gonna be here. We got to tell every child that.
Yes.
One day we ain't gonna be here.
I think what's missing, financial fundamentals are really not taught in school. So it has to be around the kitchen table.
Yes. Terrence went right back to his love language is when she talked about 100K, he said, that's my love for it. Like, talk to me, girl. Talk to me. So okay. Wow, this one's always go quick. We're gonna have a part 3 to this, but here's what we recommend. I recommend it. 1, communicate
openly with and be extremely kind. Your feelings,
and then set boundaries. Hear the expectations.
And when we say set boundaries, I really think it needs to be written down.
Oh, everything got to be written. Here, let them take the note too. That person, write it down in your phone. Here are the boundaries. Let me see it. Or do
on a piece of paper.
On a piece of paper. Here are the boundaries. Here are the agreements. Here are the expectations. Sign it. Sign it. I want you to sign it. So you're signing that you agree that in exchange for this.
What happens if they don't?
Bring it back. You sign it. So here are the consequences if you don't. Okay, you signed it. Let's talk about the expectations.
So set boundaries and have consequences.
If you don't pay the condo fee, if you don't pay the lights and the water, then we're not going to do it, and we're gonna help you find a homeless out No, I don't think that's fine.
I don't
think that's
honestly.
No, honestly, we got to have some boundary to, but it has to be some boundary that they agree to. But remember that we've had family members who we've done deals with, and we made them sign it. And when they didn't respond accordingly, we say, "Here's what you signed. You know, are you a person of integrity or not?"
No.
They never said no. They always said they are. And you bring them into remembrance what they said. You bring them into remembrance what they said.
But sometimes there are difficult situations where it just seems to be a no-win. You know, when I was sharing with the minister at church yesterday about some people just lean on you, like on your shoulder, and just kind of drag you down. What are you going to do? Just what she was saying about her brother, again, it's like
the brother situation is
just
he's been in rehab twice.
Yes.
They paid thousands of dollars.
Yes.
He failed a couple at least.
It's like I'm just gonna lay out in the street.
And so,
what do you do?
I tell you what I think one of the things you do, you pray. And I'm seriously, because I think about another family member who had an alcohol problem. And rehab did not work multiple times. And we just kept praying. And that person now has been alcohol free for years. The prayers of the righteous availeth much. It really does. And I'm encouraging people to pray and work
with the open communication.
Be kind, set boundaries.
Be extremely kind, set boundaries and consequences.
And then define the limits. Here's all we're going to do. This is all we can do. Maybe all we can do. Okay? We're not an endless amount of money. And maybe you think we're the Rockefellers.
But
maybe
this is what I think sometimes when people keep coming back and you're like, well, okay, I'll do this for you this time. But then they come back again with a sob story.
We got a family member who had ended on with me. I said, I'm not giving you any more money. So you might as well not ask me. I'm not doing it. I love you. But this love shares, so one of my jobs as part of the family to you is to help you become self-sufficient. That's my job.
Hard.
What is the great thing? Somebody sent me this video today. It was so good. An older gentleman. Did you see that video?
No.
Somebody sent it in the family chat. This older father said, here's what I want y'all to remember. If nothing else before I leave this planet, that I want y'all to keep this thing. First of all, they're going to need two things. You're going to need two things. And here's what I want. Number one, you got God in your heart. You got to have God in your heart. And number two, you got to have a job in your hands. Now, if you got God in your heart and a job in your hands, you know what that makes you? And people said, oh, independent, prosperous. He said, no, it makes you. Okay, no, somebody said, it makes you prosperous. It makes you abundant. And he said, it's independent. One day I'm not going to be here. You must be able to stand on your own 2 feet. So first, put God in your heart. And then keep a job in your hands. And you become independent. And then you learn to manage your money. And that's teachable. That's the good thing is it's teachable. It's something you can learn. But it takes repetition. Let's talk about a budget. Let's talk about what we did.
Let's talk about even repetition. We were talking last night about writing your top 3 goals, which is something that I read that Brian Tracy says. I started, okay, why? Because the repetition of writing your goals every day, your top 3 goals, kind of etches it in your brain. So you wake up thinking, okay, this is.
Well, he teaches them to do that. It's a teaching. I have a new book coming out. Rich is good, wealthy is better. And that's one of the books that will be coming out later this year. And it's really about helping people understand how to create money management and how to create a financial plan for the future and for generational wealth. Not most people think generational wealth, you leave them a house. But the problem is it doesn't get to the 3rd and 4th generation. What we want to do is help people get to the 100-year plan. And that's the kind of generational wealth that really is multi-generational. Our time is up. Good God. Okay, we're going to be back with this subject, one more part 3, because so many people have The response to this has been overwhelming. We even had
I think
a
it's
radio
affected
show.
every family.
Everybody, every family is impacted. So hope everybody got the night. One, when you have this older child, you want to be kind. First, the couple has to talk to each other with kindness, and then help them with the mindset that we're going to set boundaries and we're going to teach them. But one day you're not going to be there to give them.
That's right.
One day, everybody leaving
And if
here,
they have not
one
learned
day.
that, then whatever you left them will be gone too,
They fly through it.
because they don't know how to manage
They don't
it.
know how to manage it. Okay, so all right, our time's up. This was a good one. Was this good or was this good? This was a good one. I'm telling you, this was good. This is a good topic, and we even had a radio show call and say we wanted to interview you because of this.
Oh,
topic.
that's right. We did that one
Because
last
they-
Wednesday.
Yeah, because people are buzzing about this topic. If you don't have the book, make
Because
love,
it's a
make,
problem.
yeah. If you don't have the book, Make Love, Make Money, Make It Last, go to jolleymarriage.com. First, when you get there, watch the TED Talk. Everybody should watch the TED Talk. It's How to Never Ever Argue and Get in Marriage. It's 12 minutes long. It gives our secret for not arguing. We don't always agree, but we don't argue. Number 2 is get the free chapter from the book, which we give to everybody. The biggest chapter in the book is communication. And number 3 is you get 2 copies of the book, or you get the bundle, which are 2 books, two workbooks, an audio book, and a CD on seminar on CD. And thank you, Terrence. This is excellent. Greg Kazera said, great stuff. This is good. And
Thank you guys. For
and what?
tuning in.
Look, Terrence, if anybody wants to get rid of money, give them his Cash App. Any women who Terrence is funny. All right, we gotta go. Thank y'all for your time. And for those who are watching on YouTube, please continue to share with your friends and family members. And last but not least, we've been talking about sponsors. We want to bring sponsors. If you know a company who would like us to promote them on this show to reach our audience, tell them info@williejolly.com. Email us at info@williejolly.com. Time is up. By the way, we'll see you next week with a new part 3 of this because it's so profound. Here we go.
Jolley out.
Why do birds suddenly appear every time you are near? Just like me, they long to be close to you.